Welcome to TSAT. Today's reasoning topic we are going to discuss is similarities and differences. To discuss about similarities and differences, one should know about the definition of similarities and differences. In this type of questions, in this type of topics, generally the questions will have four options. In the four options, student needs to identify which of the following three options is similar or the other one is different. Okay, so let's directly jump into the topic. In similarities and differences, we are having total three types. These are the three types. One is numerical based similarities and differences, other one is letter based similarities and differences, and followed by very important general knowledge or vocabulary based similarities and differences. See, in this type of questions, as I said already, we will have four options and students need to observe or identify or logically analyze what are the similar three options and what is the different option. Okay. So, in this the student should know some basics, that is what type of questions we are going to expect to solve that particular question, what is the approach towards the question. First, now we try to solve the numerical based similarities and differences. The first type we are going to see today is numerical based similarities and differences. To solve these questions based upon this approach, a student should know certain areas. The first area of that one is nothing but our squares. A student should know at least about 25 squares. See, not only the squares, the student should know the values near the squares as well. The values near the squares in the sense, a student should know about n square plus 1, n square plus 2, or n square minus 1, or n square minus 2. The most important is n square plus n and n square minus n. So, how the questions can be expected? See, generally, for example, he will give three options, that is 16, 36, 49 and 63. See, what is the similar thing in this case? In this case, the similar one is, for example, take 16, 36 and 49. All these are squares, that is a similar thing. But once you come to the 63, it is in the format of n cube minus 1 or n square minus 1. Okay. So, because it is in the format of n cube minus 1 or n square minus 1, this is completely a different one, and remaining three, that is 16, 36 and 49, they are completely similar. So, this is how the similarities and differences can be expected in the exam. So, what now student has to do? At home, when you are preparing for this topic, a student should write his own numbers. For example, n square, like this 1 square, 2 square, 3 square, 4 square, 5 square, till 25 square he has to write. In the same way at the bottom, the student needs to write about n square plus 1, n square plus 2 and the values near n square minus 1 and n square minus 2, and most importantly the 2 n square plus n and n square minus n. So, student needs to write all these numbers by his own in the notebook. Then he has to observe the numbers. Observation is very important in these topics. After the squares, generally you can expect a question from cubes. So, what are cubes? The values near the cubes like n cube or n cube plus 1, n cube plus 2, n cube minus 1, n cube minus 2. The most important is n cube plus n and n cube minus n. See, students should know at least cubes up to the values of 10. We should know till 10. Squares will be till about 25. This is must. After knowing the cubes up to 10, then the student has to write in his notebook about n cube plus 1, the values near n cube plus 2 and the n cube minus 1 and n cube minus 2 in the same way n cube plus and n cube minus n. After writing these numbers, and student has to observe these numbers, how they are arranged, okay, and what in which range they are arranged. So, that is also very important. After writing the squares and cubes, the next area the student should know about is very important, factors or multiples. Factors or multiples. So generally in the exam, 3 options will have same multiple, that is multiple of 2 or multiple of 3 or 4 or 5 or 6, like that, and the one option will be a different multiple, okay, or 3 options will have same factors and the one option will have a different factor. So we need to identify the options that are having a similar multiples or similar factors. The next type of question that we can expect in these similarities and differences is sum of digits. Sum of digits. This becomes very important topic. For example, how we can expect a question. For example, the question we can expect like, for example, 17, 44, 62 and 59. Okay. Now, what is the similar logic that is having for these 3 options? If you see these 3, 1 plus 7, it becomes 8, 4 plus 4, it also becomes 8, 6 plus 2 becomes 8, but 5 plus 9 is not 8. So, we got the answer based upon the logic of sum of digits. So, sum of digits is also possible here. The next one, after sum of digits, we are having multiplication of digits. Multiplication of digits. So, in this case also, the options that you are going to get will have a similar multiplication pattern and the one option will be completely different. And the next one is simple additions or simple subtractions or multiplications or divisions. Okay. So, if you see options, in these options there will be a simple additions, subtractions, multiplications and divisions can be applied to this given 3 options. And the next one, that is combination questions. This becomes very important for exam because most of the questions, for example, if the question is not in the format of squares or cubes or factors or multiples or sum of digits or multiplication of digits, generally the question can be given in the combination pattern. So, what exactly is combination? So, whatever we wrote in the above, that is squares, cubes, factors, sum of digits, multiplication of digits, additions, subtractions, multiplications and additions, he is going to combine these things and he is going to give you a question. So, how this combination can be done? For example, the combination will be of multiplication and addition. This is one combination. The combination of multiplication and subtraction. This is one more combination. The combination of squares and multiplication. The combination of squares and additions. The combination of squares and subtractions. The combination of, will have additions and subtractions as well. So, he will add 6 and he will subtract 2. So, kind of additions and subtractions. A combination of squares and divisions. This also possible, a combination of squares and divisions. So, like this the various combinations are possible. So, that is the reason the combination becomes very important, because we can create as many questions as possible with the combination type. The next one the student should know while solving these questions is prime numbers. Prime numbers. So, when a student should know about prime numbers, what kind of questions we can expect? He will give 3 prime numbers, 3 options that are common with the prime numbers and one option will be different. Or the questions can be based upon prime squares or prime cubes, that is also possible, and the values near the primes as well. Like for example, the options will be like prime plus 1, prime plus 2 or prime minus 1, prime minus 2, prime square minus 1, prime square plus 1, prime cubes, already I said, prime cube plus 1, prime cube minus 1, prime cube plus 2, prime cube minus 2. So, like that various combinations are possible. So, that is the reason the question can be framed in a very broad range. There are multiple things that are possible. That is the reason a student should get the logic immediately while solving the question. To get that logic immediately, the student should know what are the different areas, what is the different coverage of the syllabus as well as the types of questions that are asked in the exam. The next type that we are going to see is the 9th type, that is based on even or odd. See, in these questions generally 3 options will be even numbers and 1 option will be odd number, or 3 options will be odd numbers or 1 option will be even number. So these are the different areas there might ask a question. The student should answer this question means he has to thorough with squares, cubes, factors or multiples, sum of digits, multiplication of digits, or simple additions, subtractions, multiplications and divisions, followed by different combination questions. The combinations include of various types, for example, the squares and multiplications, the squares and additions, the squares and subtractions, the squares and divisions, followed by the questions can be framed based on cubes and multiplications, cubes and additions, cubes and subtractions, and cubes and divisions are also possible. Or we can see a combination types based upon addition and subtraction, addition and multiplication, additions and divisions, subtractions and divisions, multiplications and divisions. So these are the various types of combination questions can be seen. Followed by we have a different types of prime numbers, and 3 options will be similar in prime numbers and 1 will be different. Followed by the last type, that is the 9th type, that is even or odd. So now once we know all these things, let's try to apply this logic to the question and try to get the answer. Let's see the first question. For example, if you see this question, the question is like 24, 60, 124 and 210. The moment you see this question, the student should recognize the range of the numbers. For example, if you see the 24, 60, 120, 210, the numbers are in the range of cubes directly. So immediately the logic that you need to apply is cubes. I can write 24 like 3 cube minus 3, that is 3 cube minus 3, and 60 I can write like 4 cube minus 4, and 210 I can write like 6 cube minus 6. But if you see 124, it is also cube format, but the format is like 5 cube minus 1. So the remaining all are the format is n cube minus n format, whereas if you come to the option C, it is the format of n cube minus n. So remaining 3 are similar based upon the pattern of n cube minus n. Now see the next question, question number 2. So the answer is option C is the answer. Now come to the next question. In this question, see the numbers 7, 18, 9, 26, 11, 36, 13, 42. First you try to observe the range of number 7 and 18. What is the range? 19 and 26. How much range it is there? Means whether I have to take a difference, or I have to multiply with some number, or I have to do combination, or you check with the squares or cubes. Definitely I can say that squares or cubes are not possible, because 7 and 18 I can't apply the squares and cubes logic. Then what is the logic I can apply here? The logic is combination logic. The logic is based on combination. What is that combination here? For example, 7 and 18. I can write like 7 4 times is 28 minus 10. Then I will get the answer as 18. So we are having 7 and 18. And what is the logic in between I can see? That is multiplication and subtraction. So this is the combination. The combination of multiplication and subtraction is the logic. In the same way you see 9 and 26. I can write like 9 4 times 36 minus 10. Then we are going to get what? 26. Okay. Then also here combination is multiplication and subtraction. In the same way, here also 13 4 times minus 10 is equal to 42. So what is the answer? Option C here. Why? It is also multiplication, but it is not minus 10. It is only minus 8 is there. So here multiplication and subtraction, the subtraction is very less here. So here the common is multiplying by 4 and subtracting 10. These two are the combinations, that is a common logic, that is a similar for option A, B and D. So our answer is option C. See the next type of question. If you see the numbers here 24, 21, 46, 32, 62, 23, 84 and 24. So what you need to do here is you see the range of numbers whether the squares, cubes, multiplications or common factors or sum of digits or multiplication of digits is possible. Check that first. That is very much important. Once you've done this, but if you see the logic here, the logic is based upon the combination here. The logic is based on combination. So what is the combination here? The combination here is first he is reversing and again multiplied by 2. So this is the logic. So let's try to apply here. For example, here I am having 21. You reverse this 21, what you will get? 12. So 12 how many times is 24 multiplied by 2 times. In the same way 32. You reverse this 32, you will get 23. So once you get 23, again multiplied by 2, again multiplied by 2, you will get 46. In the same way again you have 24, you reverse this 24 in option D, you will get 42 and again multiplied by 2, so 84. And finally what will be the answer? Option C is the answer, because if you reverse this 23, you are going to get 32. Once you multiplied with the 2, the 32, what you are going to get is 64 but not 62. So the logic is not applied in the option C. The similar logic is option A, B, D, that is a combination of reverse. First you reverse the digits, then followed by multiplied by 2, or you can multiply it by 2 times. Okay, that is also possible. Or if you want to see another logic, the logic is very simple. 2 to 4, how many times? Double. So 1 again becoming 2, it is also double. Here also 3 to 6 is also double. In the same way 2 to 4 is also double. Here also 2 to 4 is double, again 4 to 8 is also double. So this logic also can be applicable. See, the student can get any logic. There is no one particular criteria to get the answer. అంటే ఇదే అప్రోచ్తో ఆన్సర్ వస్తుంది అంటే అలా ఏముండదండి. నెంబర్స్ కాబట్టి మనకి ఎలాంటి లాజిక్ అయినా అప్లై చేసి ఆన్సర్ తీసుకొని రావచ్చు. కాకపోతే ఇక్కడ మనం గుర్తుపెట్టుకోవాల్సిన విషయం ఏంటంటే మనకు వచ్చే ఆన్సర్, వాట్ ఎవర్ ద ఆన్సర్ వీఆర్ గెటింగ్, వెదర్ దట్ ఈస్ ఫాలోయింగ్ ద ప్యాటర్న్ ఆఫ్ సిమిలారిటీ ఆర్ నాట్. అంటే ఇచ్చిన 3 ఆప్షన్స్ సిమిలర్గా ఉన్నాయా లేదా అని మాత్రం చెక్ చేసుకోవాలి. కమ్ టు ద నెక్స్ట్ క్వశ్చన్. See the question number 4, 5 of 50, 8 128, 11 242, 15 375. See what is the logic first you need to think. ఇక్కడ చూడండి, ఇక్కడ స్మాల్ నెంబర్ 5 is a small number, 50 is a big number, yes or no. In the same way 8 is a small number and 128 is a big number. 11 is a small number and 242 is a big number. 15 is a small number and 375 is a big number. So now the student has to think that how you will get this logic. అంటే ఒక చిన్న నెంబర్ నుంచి పెద్ద నెంబర్ రావాలంటే నేను ఏమేమి చేస్తే నాకు ఆ నెంబర్ వచ్చే పాసిబిలిటీ ఉంటుందో స్టూడెంట్ అబ్జర్వ్ చేయాలి, అనలైజ్ చేయాలి, థింక్ చేయాలి. సో వాట్ ఆర్ ద పాసిబుల్ థింగ్స్? ఒక చిన్న నెంబర్ నుంచి ఒక పెద్ద నెంబర్ రావాలి అంటే ఏమేమి చేయొచ్చు అంటే ఫస్ట్ వన్ వచ్చేసి స్క్వేర్స్ చేయొచ్చు, తర్వాత మనం క్యూబ్స్ చేయొచ్చు, దెన్ ఫాలోడ్ బై మల్టిప్లికేషన్ చేయొచ్చు, ఆర్ కాంబినేషన్ ఆఫ్ స్క్వేర్స్ అండ్ మల్టిప్లికేషన్, కాంబినేషన్ ఆఫ్ క్యూబ్స్ ప్లస్ మల్టిప్లికేషన్, కాంబినేషన్ ఆఫ్ స్క్వేర్స్ అండ్ అడిషన్స్. సో వీటి కాంబినేషన్స్ కూడా చేయొచ్చు. అంటే ఈ నెంబర్స్ చూడగానే స్టూడెంట్కి ఆ లాజిక్ అనేది మైండ్లోకి రావాలన్నమాట. సో ఇక్కడ 5 and 50 ఈజ్ దేర్. సో వాట్ ఐ కెన్ డూ ఈజ్ 5 10 times 50 మల్టిప్లికేషన్ అవుతుంది, లేకపోతే 5 square 25 అండ్ దట్ 25 హ్యావ్ టు మల్టిప్లైడ్ బై 2. సో కాంబినేషన్ కూడా చెక్ చేసుకోవచ్చు. సో 5 10 times 50, 8 10 times 80 ఇక్కడ లేదనమాట. సో యూ గెట్ అవుట్ ఆఫ్ దట్ పర్టికులర్ లాజిక్. సో వాట్ ఇస్ ద సెకండ్ లాజిక్? దట్ ఈస్ కాంబినేషన్, దట్ ఈస్ square and multiply by 2. Let's see this. For example, here you are having 5, so I can write like 5 square, that is 25 multiplied by 2, then you get the answer as 50. So here the logic is combination. In the same way 8 square is 64 multiplied by 2, so you'll get answer as 128. In the same way 11 square is 121, again multiplied by 2, you are going to get 242. So obviously what is the answer? Option D is the answer, because 15 square 225 multiplied by 2, so we are getting around 450, but only given 375. So what is the similar thing? The similar for all 3 options is combination pattern, that is square and multiplication. If you see this question, 12 98, 13 117, 15 120, 16 128. Same here, 12 is small number, 96 is big number. 13 is small number, 117 is big number in option B. In option C, 15 is small number, 120 is big number. In option D, 16 is small number, 120 is big number. So same logic one need to apply. Apply is either squares, cubes or multiplications or combinations. But I can say this 96 is the multiple of 12. The logic here is 96 is the multiple of 12. So how many times? 8 times directly. 13 117. Again 117 is the multiple of 13. How many times? 9 times. Now come to 15 120. 15 120. Again 120 is the multiple of 15. How many times? 8 times. In the same way 120 is the multiple of 16. How many times? 8 times. So your answer is option B. What is the similar thing in remaining 3 cases? The similarity is in 3 cases, everything is multiplied by 8. And what is the different one? The different one option B, because it is multiplied by 9. If you see the next question, 1321, 1927, 1523, 1624. Once you observe the range of numbers, the students try to take the difference here. For example, 18 to 21, what is the difference? 8. 19 to 27, difference is 8. 15 to 23, difference is 8. 16 to 24, difference also 8. Everything is similar. There is no different one. But what is the logic here? We need to find out the different one. If you observe carefully, we already talked about this particular logic. That is, only option D is even. Only option D is even. And you see remaining all. The remaining like option A, B and C, they are having odd numbers. So here the logic is based upon odd numbers and even number logic. 7th question. So in this question, 232, 431, 612, 813. Is there any common logic here? Yes, the common logic here it is multiplication of digits. The logic is very simple. The logic is based on multiplication of digits. So how it is multiplication of digits? For example, if you see here in the option A, 2, 3, 2, you multiply it 2 3 times 6, 6 2 times 12. Okay. In the same way, 4, 3, 1, then also 12. In the same way, 6 into 1 into 2, then also 12. So finally, 8 into 1 into 3, that equal to 24. So what is the common logic here? The common logic here is A, B, C, multiplication of digits is 12, whereas in option D, the multiplication of digits is giving answer as 24. So the logic is multiplication of digits. Next question. If you see this question, the options are 7, 15, 31 and 57, right? If you carefully observe these numbers, all are different numbers. The problem is some students think that here 7, here 15. So it is multiplied by 2 plus 1. It's a combination of multiplication and addition. Or 15, 31 into 2 plus 1. This is not possible. So answer is option D. No, this is not the logic. Because these are similarities and differences. We are not asking a pattern change. That is a series type. It is not a pattern change. It is a all 4 numbers are different. We have to see it as a different one. But with our logic, we need to find out the similar pattern that is there for the 3 options, right? If you see that 7, I can write like 2 cube minus 1. If you see 15, I can write like 2 power 4 minus 1. And 31, I can like 2 power 5 minus 1. And which is not possible for option D. So our answer is option D is the answer. So what is the common similar thing about this one? The similar is, it's everything is 2 power 4 something minus 1. Okay, 2 power something minus 1. That is the logic here. If you see this question, 0.5, 1.5, 3.25. But if you see this logic here, the 2 options, that is option B and option C. Option B and option C both are similar. Ante option B lo half, 0.75, 1.5, 1 undi. Alane option C lo kuda 0.5, 0.75, 1.5 and 1 undi. So BC option same అయినప్పుడు మనం ఎలాంటి లాజిక్ అప్లై చేయొచ్చు అంటే, అగైన్ యూ సే ఇస్ దర్ ఎనీ కామన్ ఫ్యాక్టర్, వీటికి ఏమైనా కామన్ ఫ్యాక్టర్ ఉందో లేదో చెక్ చేసుకుందాం. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఇక్కడ నేను హాఫ్ని ఏమైనా రాసుకోవచ్చాను, 0.25 ఇంటూ 2 అంతే కదా. సో నేనేం చేసుకొచ్చాను, 0.25 ఇంటూ 2 అని రాయొచ్చు అనమాట నేను. అలానే 0.75 ఎలా రాయొచ్చు, 0.25 ఇంటూ 3. అలానే 1.5 ఏమైనా రాసుకోవచ్చు, 0.25 ఇంటూ 6. 1 ఏమైనా రాసుకోవచ్చు, 0.25 ఇంటూ 1. సో వాట్ ఇస్ ద రేషియో, 2:3:6:1. సో దిస్ ఇస్ ద రేషియో. అలానే ఆప్షన్ బి కూడా 0.25 ఇంటూ 2 0.5, 0.25 ఇంటూ 3 0.75, 0.25 ఇంటూ 6 is 1.5, In the same way 0.25 into 4 is 1. So, the ratio is 2:3:6:4. So, that is the ratio. Now, try to apply for option D. So, in emerach option D ni 0.5 into 2 alane 0.5 into 3 alane 0.5 into 6 alane 0.5 into 4. So, everything is following the ratio of 2, 3, 6, 2. So, that is the ratio that we can observe. But if you see the option A is not following this particular pattern, that is 2, 3, 6, 4. Instead, if you see these two options, that is 0.5 and 0.25, the ratio is something like 2 and 1. Yes or no? But here it is like 2 and 4 here. So, it is avoiding this particular logic. We saw different types of questions that are possible in similarities and differences. In similarities and differences, the logic or the reasoning is based upon the number 1 we saw about squares, then followed by the cubes and the values near squares and cubes. Followed by we saw about different factors and multiples of different numbers. In the same way, we saw about sum of digits, multiplication of digits, and simple additions, subtractions, multiplications and divisions. And finally, we saw the combination of above all whatever I said till now, and followed by prime numbers and odd numbers and even numbers. So, in this case, the student should observe the similarities in all these numbers and the one different one. Thank you.